Hi folks, back with another reaction video. Today's reaction is for John Carpenter Alive After Death official music video. Now I am a John Carpenter fan. I've seen quite a lot of his films by now. I actually went to see him and his band play live maybe 3 or 4 years ago now down in Dublin, and it was fantastic. Really good. Really liked it. And so he's brought out a new album. This is Lost Themes 3. I've heard Lost Themes 1. I think I heard a few things off Lost Themes 2. I haven't heard anything off this album. So this is a brand new reaction. So let's get into it after 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I mean, if you've heard John Carpenter's music before, I mean, he has a style. So, you know, we're getting straight up. We're home, if we like, you know. I love that about him. So I guess one of the typical things that you would hear in his music is that it's primarily all synth driven. I really like the sort of juxtaposition between the very high what we call sparkly sort of synthesizer, which is playing a dum bum 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 bum, and then we've got this really lush low frequency pad kind of holding down and then going down to the bass notes, giving us a sense of dread. His music, although instrumental, always brings images to mind. You know, I guess that's one of the sort of genial things about him, really, is that as a filmmaker and as a musician who makes his own music for his films, that images and audio are very much linked, you know. They're inseparable, really. Now, we do have a video for this, so I'm not sure if he's involved in the video for this or not. Perhaps you can let me know, or maybe somebody else has animated this. But another aspect of what I'm hearing here is it sounds like it's in 7/4, and I know you know, a lot of his other music is he likes to play about with odd time signatures. Sort of comes about, I guess, from the, you know, if you think way back to his first film, Halloween, and again, that's is it in 5/4? So this one's in 7, and I guess the connotations of odd time signatures are, again, you know, maybe just sort of disorientation. You know, things are not quite straightforward. Something uneasy is happening, something going on like that. So let's go back a little bit, because obviously we're going into a new section here. Okay. Now, he's a master of being able to keep things simple, but also intriguing to listen to. You know, I'd hold my hands up and say, you know, I get very bored very quickly when I'm listening to music if it isn't sort of usually moving around and taking unexpected turns. But Carpenter has this sort of style where he's able to use the same pattern over and over again. But he just creates this really cinematic feel that you just want to be part of. You just want to kind of go on this hypnotic journey. You know, that ascending line, da 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 da. What's that? 4 notes, and he's just playing 4 notes over and over, up and down, and it's just the rhythm, the fact that it's in 7 time, giving us, you know, the more interesting aspect of it. You know, it's literally just those 4 notes going up and down, and you know, not a lot of chords going on in terms of the harmony with the bass going down, but real atmosphere. I mean, let's not forget here, really, credit where credit's due. You know, John Carpenter is basically a genre in and of himself. You know, there's a lot of this kind of retro synthwave music that's been going about, this 80s stuff. that I'm a big fan of. There's a lot of artists that I've listened to and I really, really like. But I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy is the source of it, So, this is him doing his thing. Any other things that you listen to that are like this are like John Carpenter. Unless there's somebody else that I've missed along the way, the real horror film buffs, I guess, will be able to sort of correct me on that if I have. Although I am into horror films, so I'm pretty sure that John Carpenter is the man when it comes to these sort of synth-led, orchestrative kind of soundtracks. I'm really loving that sweeping panning from one of the layers of the synth that's going on. Again, it's really contributing to this sense of disorientation that's going on. I'm going to run it back a little bit and go. I guess another trait that I've noticed in some of his music is this sort of pseudo heartbeat kind of thing that's going on. We do have something in there that's kind of percussive, but it almost sounds like heartbeating. We get this whether it's a kick drum or some sort of effect in his other work. That is another thing that I've noticed in his music. It's present a lot in lots of his work. Again, just this sort of impending doom, love that. Again, in terms of harmony, very basic, I guess, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't need to have lots of key changes and lots of different things going on. He can just put out this, in terms of the arrangement, he is able to just fill everything out. And I guess, like a film, he's pacing it really, really well. At the introduction, and now we've got something that is resembling something that came before, but we're getting sort of more ornamentation going on. We're getting these sort of arpeggiated lines. I'm going to say by that, I don't necessarily mean cascading broken chords effect that you would do on a piano, but it sounds to me very much like what you would have as an arpeggiator in the synthesizer engine itself. You essentially hold a chord down, and it kind of takes notes that belong to that chord and moves them around in a kind of random order, and you can actually sort of go in and manipulate that and take it whatever way you want. I'd be very surprised if he's actually going in and playing those individual notes because they're quite random in order, at least on a first listen. They seem very random. So we're getting that, but it's quite cleverly panned because we're getting bits here in the space. So basically where there seems to be space or audio real estate, you would call it, within the frequency, he's cleverly filling that as opposed to just hitting us all down the middle. That sort of synthesizer, the way that sort of opened up the frequency of that, it's like the sort of the filter opening, very reminiscent of Vangelis and that kind of, the Blade Runner soundtrack, that kind of open pad kind of sound. This is really beautiful. Again, I probably said about the fact that he's very minimalistic in a sense. One of the other things that I really love about John Carpenter is a very, very strong sense of melody. So he is very to the point. He doesn't sort of go around or ornate kind of melodies and complicating things. I'd be a real I'm a real victim of that whenever I create my own music. I guess I do enjoy that music that moves around an awful lot. But he has a real talent for keeping things basic, and the more basic things are, the more it kind of goes into our mind, or more it kind of goes into our ear and stays there. So it's a real earworm, if you like. So he has a real knack for picking out melodies and themes that just stay with you, even if you've only heard them once or twice. Oh. Beautiful. I really didn't see a guitar solo coming with this, or the sort of the band arrangement, I guess. That could have come from the touring and stuff he did before. Maybe he's starting to think a wee bit more about writing for an actual band. I actually wasn't missing the percussion before that, but once the drums have come in, things have filled out really, really nicely. Very tasteful guitar solo as well, very melodic, kind of like what we were talking about before. Not doing an awful lot, but what is going on is very effective and memorable, and all feels, all emotion, really, isn't it? The drum production itself, very direct. I guess that would make sense from a mixing point of view, because if we're using a lot of reverb and really trying to explore the musical space with the synthesizers, if you did a similar thing with the drums, things might get a little bit too out of hand. So I like the fact that they've kept it very, very dry. The drums are very focused and straight. There's no real delay or any reverb coming off the snare or the kick. There's possibly a little bit there, but not enough for us to really notice it. So it's an interesting choice there. Go back a tiny little bit. Brilliant. Really, really good. This guy just keeps delivering. It's his style. He does it well. It doesn't get old. At least not to me. I really enjoy it. So I'm going to have to check out more of this album. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my channel, because there's some other reaction videos, different types of music that are going on. So you might find something else that you like. And also have some videos of me playing piano, some guitar stuff, some music that I write as well. If you're into the prog kind of stuff, instrumental music as well. I know John Carpenter actually is a pretty big influence on the stuff I write. So, shameless plug, I guess. There you go. So thanks very much. I'll see you all next time.